Hi, this is Infernal Toast. I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of cryptocurrency, mining, and ICOs from my perspective. So let's rewind back in time. Prior to 2009, prior to our buddy Bitcoin, there was only fiat currencies, right? So we have fiat currencies that we know and love. So fiat currency is centrally banked typically. It's created by a central monarchy. Maybe that's a company or entity. But that entity can create as much as they want. They control the print rate. They control the inflation rate. That's not so important, but they also control all the rules about who gets it, who starts with it. Typically, they start with all of it. That's the real problem. So Bitcoin in 2009, right? Satoshi Nakamoto finally launched Bitcoin. What this means is that we have a currency that's generated purely through math, which means that no one started with all of it. It's kind of like a CAPTCHA. Mining is like a CAPTCHA that prevents bots from gaming the system, and it makes it so by being owned by nobody, it's owned by everybody. It's a truly decentralized kind of money that we have there. So that's really important. It's really special, and it works very well on the internet. So Bitcoin came out in 2009. No one really paid attention to it. 2010, 2011, it started gaining a little bit of traction. 2011, 2012. A lot of new coins launched, right? Like Dogecoin, Feathercoin, Peercoin, WorldCoin, AnonCoin, Darkcoin. This, red coin, blue coin, one coin, two coin. Basically, there were so many clones of Bitcoin that started up their own blockchains, and anyone can make their own currency now. This was really cool. We had all these new coins, these pure mined currencies, but they couldn't talk to each other, right? So that kind of sucked. So then 2013 comes around, and we get Ethereum, right? This is amazing. So Ethereum is the whole, it's the whole kind of blockchain network. So instead of having all these separate coins that are all out, in their own realms, we could basically allow anyone to launch their own coins or tokens inside of the Ethereum network, and now they can all talk to each other. Okay, this is genius. So now it's kind of like we're alleviating this problem that we had back in 2011, 2012, and now we don't need to have some sort of cross blockchain system. We build basically what they did was, what Vitalik figured out, is you could build the cross blockchain system first, and then put all the coins inside of this garden of interoperability. So that's fantastic. Now, what happened was, though, the real problem in 2015, 2016 with all of these ICOs and all these tokens, I guess everyone was in a mad dash to launch their tokens, right? So they didn't really think about how cryptocurrency actually works, maybe. If someone did, their token was delayed so much that all these other tokens that could deploy really rapidly but poorly kind of stole the limelight first, right? So what happened was we had all of these tokens launch, and the vanilla ERC20 contract makes the deployer a monarch and starts with all the tokens. This is huge, hugely different from what happened before 2013. Before 2013, when there was a cryptocurrency, when you deployed the cryptocurrency, the deployer got no advantage. They were not a special. It's not fiat, right? That's the thing. So cryptocurrency, the difference between cryptocurrency and fiat is that cryptocurrency is decentralized. No one's the monarch. It's free and open and just pure mind, and it's all based on pure mathematics. Once all these people launched all these tokens, now let's throw that mining thing out the window, right? Everyone's like, oh, we don't need that. We don't need to be fair. We don't need to be decentralized. Let's have a bunch of monarchs and kings. Well, what you've basically done now is we have a bunch of fiat monies in Ethereum. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. We've totally gone backwards. So now there's no you can either basically have a bunch of fair coins that are not able to talk to each other, or you can have a bunch of unfair monarchy-based tokens which can talk to each other, but now there's monarchs that decide the rules. So, like, let's take any ERC20 token. Just name the ERC20 token. I'm willing to bet that all the tokens started in the hands of one person. You can read the smart contract. all the popular ERC20 tokens, every single token started in one account's hands. Then what they do? They did an airdrop or they did an ICO. Because you have to distribute them, right? If you start with all of them, you have to distribute them, or else it's just your own thing. So airdrops. Okay, so an airdrop means you register your email address or whatever, your account number, and then I'll send you 5 or whatever. The problem with that is, if there's no mining or anything, there's no sort of captcha like that, bots and people can just spam a bunch of accounts, and then even the deployer can spam a bunch of accounts into the system, and that are secret accounts basically that no one knows is actually the deployer, and get a vast majority of the tokens. So now there's no accountability. There's no way to know whether it's actually fair or not. The deployer could secretly airdrop half the tokens to themselves by gaming their own system, which they built. Makes a lot of sense. So airdrops are completely not fair. It's not like mining. It's completely monarch based, and you have to trust the monarch, and that's not what actual cryptocurrency is about. It's not about monarchies. It's about decentralization. Okay. ICOs. That seems infallible, right? No, it's not. With an ICO, the king, monarch, deployer still starts with all the tokens. But then what happens is, so let's see, you have an ICO, right? So you have a store, and basically, right? And people can put in ether. And then they get tokens out, right? Now, the problem with that is, at the end of the ICO, all the ether is going to go into the bank account of the monarch, right? So all the ether is going to go in the bank account of the monarch. So but the monarch knows this. So what the monarch could do is, if they have 100 ether, they could buy 100 ether worth of their token, okay? Get all the tokens. And then they know they're going to get that 100 ether right back into their own wallet in whenever it ends, in like a month when the sale ends. So that means that the deployer is able to get all those tokens for free, whereas everybody else has to pay for the tokens. And there's even, in some scenarios, the deployer can like recycle the ETH through for more tokens, and if they can just extract the ETH right away and take this ETH and immediately buy more. Now that's not pretty common, but it did happen with a few coins. Cough, cough. I'm sure you know what those are. Anyway, ICOs, airdrops, they're not fair. They benefit the monarch. There's no way to tell if the monarch's cheating the system or not. It's not like Bitcoin. It's not like Dogecoin or Litecoin. It's not fair. It's not pure mind. It's not decentralized. There's no accountability. It's more like fiat. It's really more like fiat system in terms of money. So what we need is a way to mine tokens on Ethereum, which means you have an Ethereum token where the smart contract owns all the tokens to begin with, not the deployer. And then people will submit proof of work, and you mine, right? Here's your little pickaxe. You mine the tokens out of the smart contract. And then it's fair for everybody. The deployer has absolutely no advantage. It's all based on pure math. There's no way to game the system. Okay? Yes, some people have more mining hardware. Yes, some people, have more money to buy more mining hardware. But that's just the way the law, the rules of the land. That's the same way, with Bitcoin and Litecoin, and that is not as bad as the ability for the monarch to just give themselves all the tokens with ICOs and airdrops. Okay, mining is the best thing we have. Is it perfect? No, but it is the best thing we have to prevent humans from giving themselves an unfair advantage for no reason, right? So EIP 918 describes how we can do pure mined ERC20 tokens. There already are some. Some of them have pretty high hash rate, in the orders of hundreds of miners. And this is the future, because if we can basically make a bunch of cryptocurrencies on EIP 918, that means we'll have pure mined currencies, right? Like Feathercoin, WorldCoin, Darkcoin. And we'll have them that can talk to each other interoperably inside of Ethereum as ERC20 tokens or whatever other kind of token. It doesn't have to be ERC20 even. And that way we'll have the best of both worlds. We'll have interoperability between different cryptocurrencies, and we'll retain a non-monarch based kind of system, non-monarch based coins. Like Bitcoin has no monarch, Litecoin has no monarch, Dogecoin has no monarch. These are actual cryptocurrencies. All this ICO airdrop crap, This is monarchy. It's like fiat. It's really not much better. So that's just my thoughts. That's the way I saw the history. If you have any other thoughts, feel free to share.